Hi everyone, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Megan, and we're the Disney Cool Kids.
And we are back at Disneyland for the Season of the Force, all things Star Wars. We are going to ride all of the Star Wars rides, check out the new overlays they've got for Hyperspace, Space Mountain, and Star Tours, do a fun little scavenger hunt that's a new addition to Disneyland, and try some of the foods they've got for Season of the Force. We can't possibly get to them all in one day, but we tried some good ones, and we hope we'll be able to give you some guidance in what to get for yourself.
So join us for another great day in Disneyland.
In Disneyland on April 9th, and I gotta say, I mean, you wouldn't know by looking at this, but the crowds, way less than they've been all throughout March. Spring break's over, and maybe we're gonna get slightly more manageable crowds. We'll have to wait and see how the day develops. We're gonna be here all day for the Star Wars theming. Gonna try some great treats, go on some rides, and you're gonna come with us. First up on our Star Wars food tour, it's the Toydarian Swirl there and the Polystarch Puff Bread, breakfast pastry resembling a concha. Toydarian Swirl, we got it from the milk stand here. Okay. Oh, a lot of what is this stuff called? I'm blanking.
Tahine.
Oh, there's boba in it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a spicy boba drink. This is spicy boba drink.
All right, let me try. Oh my goodness.
This is something you really wanted, remember? You really wanted it.
I was like, we have to get this from the milk stand. If you're like a sour person, or like if you like a spicy margarita, this has no alcohol, but that's the vibe it's giving me.
Your face says you love it.
All right, now let's try the puff bread, which I know isn't new, because it wasn't on like the foodie guide as like new, but everyone else tried it and I've never had it, so it's new to me.
Just bite it, bub. Being very dainty with it. Does it taste like a concha?
It gives that Mexican sweet bread vibe with like the sugar top, but I should be on that side. Whatever.
It's a little late now.
But the bread is a little stale in my opinion. Here, try it.
Alright, let me try. I'm just gonna bite it. I don't really get that stale flavor. I think it's quite good actually.
Rate it out of 10.
I give it like a 7.5. I actually really enjoy this. I think the sugar topping adds a lot of sweetness to it. It makes it much more like a good little treat to have. I'm not a big like croissant bread guy. I find those kind of boring, to be honest. But this, I like this.
It's honest rating of that.
This is not for me. This I like a 2 for me. Like I don't enjoy it. But if you like spice,
I'm gonna take those. My hands are short.
I think it tastes fine.
I think it tastes a little stale.
I think it's fine. It's good actually. I like it better than
Okay, don't talk with your mouth full. Okay.
Now we're into Oga's Cantina trying a new drink called the Fiery Mustafarian. Here Megan is taking a sip. You can add some optional spicy syrup. It's called the lava syrup. It's kind of just a chili sauce you can put in there, sort of like a hot sauce. Megan's not one for spicy drinks, but she really enjoyed it. There I am adding just a little bit more for myself. I tend to like the heat a bit more than she does. It comes in a nice optional souvenir glass there with the stand that we ended up getting, and here I am trying it as well. You can tell I really like it and say it's pretty good. Yeah, I would give this a 5 out of 5 if you're a tequila drinker, and even if you aren't really, still a 4 out of 5.
What do you think of the cheese bread?
The bread's great. It really is like one of the softest pretzels I've ever had. The cheese sauce has a little bit of like a blue flavor. It is a little spicy, but it definitely has like kind of a green flavor.
Rated out of 10.
I give it a 7.
It's so funny to me the things in Star Wars that carry over from the movies into, like, you know, choices they make in the park and stylistically, like this right here. They have this droid upside down and it's plugged in by its feet, which is clearly a reference to the one getting tortured in Jabba's palace. It's like, but that's not a thing that droid wanted to happen to it. And here it's just like out in the open, just doing no big deal. No big deal, because you remember from the movies, right? So like that's what they're doing. It's lunchtime now, and we are headed over to the Galactic Grill, trying out the Bantha Burger, the Phyrexian Fries, and the Wookiee Parfait. There it is. Looks really tasty. How was it? I'll get to that in a minute. The Bantha Burger was a 50-50 burger with a pork belly. Kind of had a little bit of a Korean barbecue kind of vibe to it. Wanted to love it. Didn't really, just kind of thought it was okay. Megan really didn't like it. I would give it a 5 out of 10. I think she was more like a 3 or 4 out of 10. The Phyrexian fries there, sort of like nachos meat poutine, tasted really good. I did not love the mushy consistency though. Only like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 for me. But if you like poutine, you probably would really enjoy it. And now onto the Wookiee Parfait. Man, was this thing rich. That topping there is basically just cake icing. The inside has a little bit of a crunchy vibe, sort of like an ice cream cake. It was all right for me. That was some white chocolate on top there and that little Wookiee belt. I would probably give this like a 6 out of 10, but Megan definitely enjoyed it more than me. Here's her take.
I really like it. There's like a Rice crispy crunch on top. There's these like little chocolate chip morsels.
Very chocolatey, very rich.
Heaven knows right, it does kind of taste like icing. But I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now we're headed over into Star Traders in Tomorrowland to take part in the new season of the Force Scavenger Hunt in Disneyland. It may already be there in Disney World, but it is new to Disneyland. Checking out the Grogu merch in Star Traders here. There's never a shortage of that. But here in Disneyland, what you need to do is pick up one of these cards from Star Traders. One of those cards that just dropped on the ground. Head over to Galaxy's Edge and find 6 colored canisters with a code on them, and then head back over to Tomorrowland. Use those placards there to decode the secret message and get a little keepsake. The ducks are out. Let's head over to Galaxy's Edge and see what we can find.
Spoiler alert if you want to play this yourself, but right by the Millennium Falcon, there's one of the canisters. They're a lot smaller than you'd imagine they'd be, and it's a good thing you have this map because otherwise it'd be really tough to find.
Taking a break from the fun and games to head over to Quetzalcoatl's Kettle to try the Celto Slush, a plant-based horchata cold brew. There it is there. Doesn't look that appetizing. Let's see how it tastes. But wait a minute, what's this? Even in Quetzalcoatl's Kettle, you can find signs of the resistance.
The consistency is weird. Oh. It almost tastes like a pumpkin spice latte frappuccino. Let me try.
So it's right up your alley.
Yeah, it's like you see the color green. This is not the flavor you're expecting. It's good though. It has just a little bit of coffee flavor, just the right amount of sweetness. I like this.
On the way back to Tomorrowland, stopping at Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's closing for a refurb on May 1st, so we're getting one last ride in.
On a sleepy day, a hungry couple, a little bear named Winnie the Pooh, set off in search of honey.
Look, Mama, look! I'm a bunny! Hang on tightly, Roo!
And we had to stop into Pooh's Corner before they closed for refurbishments on May 1st. But don't worry, it's just getting a little refresh. Look at all these yummy treats, the candy apples, the Tigger marshmallow wand. Hopefully you can get these somewhere else in the parks during their closure, and I can't wait to see how fabulous it looks when it comes back.
Let's stop for a second. Actually gotten the blue, the yellow, and the red, but I already think I've solved it. I got O-O-N, and they give you the R and an I. This is probably I-N-G, and so I think it's probably moon ring.
What's the riddle?
Is there a riddle? I don't think there is.
Oh.
It's just a special keepsake. It's not moon ring, it's moon rise. I found the green E just to make sure, and I was like, what is this? But we got it now, so let's get the prize.
You did it.
Spoilers.
Yeah. All right.
The real Los Angeles driving experience. Sit in a car and don't go anywhere.
Next stop, downtown Disney.
Cosmic World.
good? Is it really fishy? What's the flavor profile? There's avocado in it. California roll, tempura.
So that's crab in a tempura crust, and then the avocado and jalapeno, but it wasn't spicy, at least for me. But I love sushi, so not the best sushi I've ever had, but for Disney, I think it's pretty fun, especially for the season of the Force. If you're not going to the parks that day, these two things are great.
Or even you just want a break, like get out of the parks for a few hours.
Exactly. Come and get this and still feel like you're being festive. I think it's great.
2018, I believe it's called. It's like a hard lemonade.
Is it?
Yeah. It's good, but it's sweet.
This is a cool place. Talk a little bit about where we are.
We're at Splitsville right now. They have a few of the Season of the Force items. They have a sushi roll, this drink right here. And it's a really cool place if you've ever been in downtown Disney. It's like a bowling alley with food. Has a nice like semi-private feel. It's great for families and just
On your rest day, you don't want to buy a ticket to the park.
yeah. If just your downtown Disney, you easily could just spend an afternoon hanging out here, going to shops, eating at restaurants. There's plenty of activities to do. You don't even have to have a park ticket.
Okay, but now rate the drink.
I give it I don't love it, but there's nothing about it I don't like. Like, I give it a 4 out of 5. It could be tough to drink a whole thing of this. Like, it's that sweet, but like, it might get tired.
Okay, now we debate about this. Give it out of 10, please, not out of 5.
Oh, I give it like a 6.5, like a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Like, it's good. It's not like exactly what I would go for, but if you like this kind of drink, like a fruity, sweeter kind of cocktail, you'll probably like it a lot.
Meanwhile, my entree of choice, the chicken tenders appetizer. You know, sometimes, you know, you just need that comfort food to help get you through the day. Star Wars music.
Hours to complete, 300 pounds of powdered sugar, 100 pounds of dark chocolate, 80 pounds of crispy rice cereal, 65 pounds of gray fondant, 60 pounds of white fondant, 40 pounds of white chocolate, 30 pounds of egg whites, 30 pounds of butter, and 1 gallon of lemon juice.
That's what you're looking at.
I wonder, like, if I was on the culinary team, when it came time to, like, throw it away, I'd be like, I want to take a bite.
I can honestly, it probably does not taste as good as it sounds. Won't be as good as you want it to be, but it's impressive. After an early dinner at Splitsville, we're heading over to the Grand Californian and checking out these galactic treats table here, Season of the Force, in the lobby of the Grand Californian. Some really good stuff. That Jabba Rice Krispies treat here. We got the Grogu macaron, the Star Wars sugar cookie, some lightsaber churros, but the thing we are going to focus on is the Wookiee cookie. There it is. It's a chocolate cookie with Nutella on the inside, and this thing was initially dry on the first bite, but once you get into that Nutella in the middle, oh my goodness, is this good. It is decadent, it is sweet, it is rich, and I would strongly recommend. Both Megan and I loved it. I think an 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9. Making a pit stop at Smoke Jumper's Grill for their breakfast cold brew. We got the non-alcoholic version. We have a complicated relationship with a lot of Disney cold brews. Let's see how this one measures up.
Cream? It's not.
No.
What?
I just think it's watery. It tastes watery. I don't think it tastes good.
Classic Disney.
Yeah, I don't think it tastes good.
Yeah, it's really watery. A marshmallow cream. way better though than the Star Wars.
Oh, well, that's night and day. It's two totally different things.
The Star Wars cream is the cold brew.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the thing we had this morning.
No.
With
The cold brew
tahini.
Star Wars. Yeah, I don't know. I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
Now it's time for our last Star Wars themed meal of the day. At Docking Bay 7, we got the fried chicken bao and the dewback noodles. A bit of a split decision here. Wanted to love both. The fried chicken bao just weren't quite up to snuff in terms of ingredient quality, it seemed like. Didn't taste bad, but felt like it could have been better. The dewback noodles here were very good, very well spiced in ingredients. While not exactly my personal cup of tea, I have to acknowledge that they were pretty well made and definitely the higher quality of the two choices. Of the two, I would give the fried chicken bao like a 6 out of 10 and the dewback noodles about a 7 out of 10. And Megan would give the fried chicken bao, I think, a 5 out of 10 and the dewback noodles about an 8 out of 10.
We honor the spirit of...
And of course, we had to stick around for the nighttime Star Wars fireworks spectacular set to the iconic John Williams score for the Star Wars films. And personally, as a Star Wars fan, I kind of walked away with mixed feelings from this show. On the one hand, I'm always going to appreciate anything with the John Williams Star Wars music. It's so good. It's some of the best movie scored music of all time, in my opinion. And you can really get a great view of this from just about anywhere in Galaxy's Edge. Most of the people congregate around the Millennium Falcon and Smuggler's Run, but you don't need to crowd into that space to get a great view of the show. And part of the reason that is also part of the problem I unfortunately had with it, which is that it's clearly an overlay of the already existing fireworks show going on, in front of the castle and everything in the Disneyland park. And because of that, it doesn't really sync up. The music and the fireworks don't really sync up in the way that you'd come to expect the timing and synchronization in a Disney night show. They're really a little bit a victim of their own perfection here, in my opinion, where they set the bar, the standard is so high for Disney nighttime shows that this one it didn't quite blow me away, because you could just feel that, they were kind of doing their best with what they had rather than having something specifically designed for the Star Wars music. And I also think because of that, some of the selections of the music suffered a little bit. We had long stretches with a lot of the same sort of sounding music, where it's a lot of the action sequence music. You have the opening crawl, you have the asteroid field, you have the battle with the TIE fighters in the Millennium Falcon from the first movie. But, it's so much of that. There isn't really any of the ebb and flow that you would like to get in a really good fireworks or Disney nighttime show, where you get some of the more sweeping music, some of the more romantic themes thrown in there to kind of change the pace and the mood of the show. So when it picks back up, you feel it that much more. So that was a little bit lacking. Of course, like the big finale at the end was still amazing to get to see. I mean, if you like fireworks, you will definitely find something in it to really enjoy. But as far as comparing it to other Disney nighttime shows, I would say it's not quite up there with the best of the best. So if it's not really something that you're excited to want to check out, you say you could maybe even skip it. But even if you do want to go see it, just be aware that it's not really completely designed for this specific event. And that's going to do it for our trip to Disneyland exploring the Season of the Force. Season of Force is going from now until August 2nd, so you got lots of time to get in there, get your park reservations, and check out all the fun. It's going to be coinciding with the Pixar Fest after the Food and Wine Festival came to a close just a little while ago. So much fun, so many great rides. Loved the Hyperspace Mountain overlay, a lot of good additions to the Star Tours there, just lots of fun new characters roaming around. Really recommend checking it out if you or your kids or your spouse or just anybody are a big fan of Star Wars. But before we left Megan and I had to hit up what is my favorite ride to do in Disneyland at night, and that's the spinning teacups, believe it or not. I just think with that light canopy and the music, this is just such a visually interesting, fun, thrilling ride to do in the evening time. There we are getting a kiss before the spinning starts. You see, I just can't stop smiling. I'm a grinning fool here. I just having such a great time. Really is one of my favorite rides. I know a lot of people think this ride is a little bit nausea-inducing, but you can control the spinning, so it's really not that bad. Megan there, not one for a lot of motion on rides, closing her eyes, but I kept it tame for her. I didn't go too over the top, and we both had a really good time. We'll do it again next time we're there at night. But until then, you guys have a great time doing whatever you do, and we'll see you at the parks.